So we've assembled the guitar. As we've seen, we've put the neck on, and we're just adding a few more parts here just to make sure everything fits properly in that. And straight away we're having problems with the pickups. So this is the bridge humbucker, and trying to get it to fit into its pickup cavity is impossible. The cavity is just too small. It seems to have been routed for something else or not the correct size, but it needs the corners opened up for it to fit properly. So again, that's something easy that I could do, but if you just bought this kit as is and you were hoping to assemble it really quickly, it wouldn't work. It's going to need some chisel work around the corners to make that fit. And again, with this neck pickup, the pickup pocket here has been routed to match the exact size of the pickup cover, so that fits in absolutely fine, but the pickup itself doesn't, because we've got the wires coming off the edge here and the actual edge of the pickup itself. So again, we're going to have to route a notch or cut out a notch at the front here to make sure that fits properly. And because that's going to be visible, we're thinking what we might do is we might make a pickup ring for this to support it, just to make it a bit to make it fit a little better, and to make sure we don't have to see that horrible gouge that we're going to have to put here on it. So again, that's just to show you, with these kits, this is all supposed to fit together straight out of the box, and it doesn't. So the next thing we're going to do is we'll chisel out our corners to make these pickup fits, and we'll move on from there. So just like we said, we've just chiseled out a small section at the front here, and that's letting their neck pickup sit in properly now, and it doesn't look too bad there. And we may just clean that up and not bother with the pickup ring. And again, with our bridge humbucker here, and we've just slightly taken some small shavings off the corner there, and our humbucker fits in properly now. So we can mark up those holes now, and we'll drill those and get ready to mount that pickup. There's no pole pieces visible or anything like that, so we're not worried too much about exact alignment. And again, with the neck pickup, we'll mark our holes for that, and we'll get that mounted. So we've got our pickups mounted now, and nice and secure. Again, as you saw what happened with us having to chisel away wood, and we've had to drill holes for these as well. I definitely wouldn't class this as an amateur thing or something you'd be able to do easily straight out of the box. So, but we'll press on now anyway, and we're going to refit the bridge and put some strings on her just to see how everything lines up. So I spoke before about how difficult it was to refit this bridge, and how we were damaging the wood along the area trying to poke the spring in properly. And just as we said, it might be hard to make out, but we've actually cracked the wood down along here on the bottom. Now again, not a major thing for me. I'm going to clean all this up and I'll re-glue that back. It won't be a big issue at all, but just if you were an amateur trying to do this, it would be horrendous, and you could cause a lot more serious damage than what's happened there. So we'll press on and we'll come back and do this repair in a little while. So just to show you, we've got our first string on. It's low E and it's on the wrong side because we're just haven't decided yet exactly what we're going to do with the saddles and with these gaps up here for the strings. The string doesn't really touch them too much, so we're not worried about if we have to open them up, especially on this side to accommodate a low E. But it's interesting how it works. I've had to raise the saddle nearly all the way up to its limit just to take out some of the buzz. Now we still do the frets and the relief and that, because that's probably affecting some of the buzz. But the bridge setup is, the end cap slash nut slash whatever setup. We've got our 0 fret here, and just checking string height at it, and there's virtually nothing there. So we're going to continue away, and we'll restring it completely, and we'll see what we end up with. We'll try and make a few adjustments and see exactly what needs to be done to get it working as a guitar and to get it functioning flipped over as a left hand. So we're just checking the spacing now of these holes that the strings pass through, because they seem to be a lot wider on this side and a lot thinner here, because it was originally set up to be a right-handed guitar. But we've opened up all the slots, and the thickest string we're going to be using, which is this low E here, it actually fits right into the slot where the high E originally was on when it was right-handed. So it means we won't have to open up or widen any of these slots or anything like that. It might be a different story for the slots here on the front, but we'll see when we get to it. So the guitar is fully strung up now, and we've got it vaguely tuned up, but there's a slight issue, and see if you can spot it. Yeah, there definitely seems to be an issue with the low E there. And the issue seems to be, and it's slightly happening with the A as well, is I don't know if you can make it out because we've got quite a gap there, so the strings all sit freely in there, but then on these last two they bind just a little bit because these slots were cut for what would have been the B string and the high E. So although all the strings did pass down there was enough room, there doesn't seem to be enough room there. So what we might come back and do is we're just going to open up these slots ever so slightly, and hopefully that'll take away all that buzzing. And so just to bring you back about one of the things I said right at the start when we were doing this kit, one of these things where these kits kind of live and die is string alignment. But as you can see, our strings are right on the dead center of the fretboard there, which is good, and everything lines up here. Sometimes with this really dodgy kits, the neck sits in slightly askew and you end up with a string hanging off the edge either side, which has happened before, but this one seems to be pretty good. So we're just going to crack on now, as we said, with opening up the slots there on the headstock end cap, and we'll see if we can get rid of this awful buzz. So we've got our functioning as an instrument now. It's playing away. Definitely still needs a lot of work to get it into proper playing condition, but mechanically everything works. We've got our playing, it's tuning okay, and we managed to sort out that buzzing issue we had. We had to remove a lot of material from the headpiece there where the low E is. So what we're going to do now is we're going to strip it down. I've made some marks on the frets. There's lots of high spots and stuff like that we'll have to work on, so there's a complete fret job to do on it. And we're going to do our side dots as well, and then we're going to start to prep the body for paint. So we'll do a lot more film and stuff like that, and then get our final sanding done to get up to a really smooth finish so that the primer can go on, and then we'll get ready for paint. But as I said, next there's a lot of work to do on the neck and a lot of prep work to do on the body.